Are not very many mobile members from NIP. This Alistar is going to get value. The solo lanes in Thunder Talk can very easily access the immobile mages and the AD carry of this Misfortune. And it'll be up to NIP to kind of get a little bit creative here.
Was Aki has to jump over the wall, and that's a huge win for Thunder Talk on that major objective trade.
I think Aki just needed to kind of escort at least one of these lanes, play off of their priority. Losing the smite fight definitely doesn't help there. And we also saw that in mid lane, Doinby, despite getting the back a little bit earlier than Sitab, actually lost out on priority because Yone was able to teleport first here, Grapes, because we saw with the fact that you have this Victor versus Yone matchup, the fact that the Misfortune and Braum are typically going to have easier and better times being able to skirmish with their opponents. We didn't secure Dragon priority. We missed our timer to be able to grab these grubs at the same time. So whether or not NIP are going to be able to kind of get those fights that they love to invite.
And the biggest reason that would work here for this late game scaling competition is if you're able to get some of these major objectives. As I say that, PP God could be in some trouble, has to flash away. 2 piercing arrows for the price of 1, thanks to the blight stacks, allows for first blood to be secured here by Thunder Talk, and a really nice flashing ace from Feather will make it a 2-for-0 special. Some extra damage to these turrets. However, as we say that, it might not be a full 3-for-3 split.
Uh-oh.
As Beishuan, we saw this worked out before. It looks like Aki not going to want to deal with it, and so actually, I take it all back. And now
wait a minute.
Ward, he can get fully jumped on here with Feather as well as Beishuan. He goes on target, will flash over the wall, and will be able to survive. But that's another 2 grubs going over to Thunder Talk.
Has ultimate, Beishuan does as well. If they catch him under the turret, they're bringing multiple members here.
Here they go. Public execution on top of the Glacial Prison. And Shanji, a little bit too aggressive, trying to clear out that last plate. That is the feats of warfare. Going over to Thunder Talk. Going to be starting this one up. Again, major objective control is big, and this is the composition that Thunder Talk want to fight with here in this 5v5. Doinby on the flank on the Victor, but already the engage is going forward. It's a Dragon is secured here by Beishuan. Fate's Field lands. Aki forced to go invulnerable, and PP God getting a flashed on here. A really nicely signed W2 from Beishuan, stuns up 2, and does a lot of damage. Stays up, flashing forward. Another great engage from Feather, and Leave will drop as well. Thunder Talk at the Dragon and 3 more. This is really impressive stuff from Feather. I know that sometimes been like focused on more like the enchanters and things like that. Maybe some of the more supportive like picks where you kind of sit behind a little bit more. But this time around on the Nautilus, or sorry,
tier 1, I mean, with 5 grubs should be going down. They can even break open mid. This could be a large kind of style of play here for Thunder Talk that generates a lot of gold for them. We're going to see NIP trying to overload on the other side of the map with Doinby and Shanji joining up.
The tower is secured here. As looks like the Soul Laner is doing a little bit of dual pushing here, alongside Aki, I should say. As this Braum is not going to do enough to try to defend this tier 1, so Leave's going to have to join the area. Does have bullet time. Let's try to clear out some of this wave. Meanwhile, Soul Laners are doing some big work. It's actually then a knock up here onto Feather. Force to pop the Unbreakable Will. Aki coming forward one more time, waiting for the ultimate expire before Leave throws out any extra damage, and they will finally be able to take Feather down. However, look at the bottom side in the picture-in-picture. It is Doinby and Shanji still pushing in onto the tier 3 turret with only Hoya here to respond. He gets locked into the cage. He's already used a dash. He flashes away from the public execution, and Hoya will go down. And now the tier 3 turret really under fire, but Beishuan is here to try to make it a stop to the play. Doinby hiding under the bush, running out of mana. He probably will go down here in this fight. A Heartstone proc comes out. One last auto, and the E with the Permafrost, and Beishuan will finish off the kill.
In the LPL so far, he has a pretty dominating lead, and we need to see him step up in this game if Thunder Talk are going to try to win back in this series and give themselves a fighting chance for Game 3.
2.5 thousand gold is a lot of money here that Sitab has. You can already see like the item diff starting to come into play as that mid lane turret, not long for that world either. Of course, got some support from the rest of the team. And there's going to be the 3rd dragon. I mean, this is just so Thunder Talk dominated here in this early game. And now transitioning into that mid game. I find it hard to find an angle for NIP to get back.
I'm glad that Aki is testing which side of the wall he can jump through.
Main win condition right now for NIP is to try to find some picks and stuff. Thunder Talk doing a good job at playing together, grouping up as they're starting up this Otacon buff. NIP in the area, just don't know how much damage they have to try to burst down.
It's already gone. Aki's nowhere nearby.
The Otacon very, very low. You already see Feather flashing out of Doinby. The Victor's tanky, but not tanky enough just yet. He pops the Death Ray and the flash. He's trying to get away just a little bit longer here. The first kill already going on to leave. Beishan flashing in over on top of the Victor. And there is a little bit of disruption here for Shanji, who joined the fight, but he joined it way too late. That is 3 more kills into the hands of TT.
And the Otacon still being taken with those Blood Roses.
Just playing with his food right now. He is so tanky. Nobody does any damage to him and just uses his body to secure Hoya full control over that bot side, pick up that 2-2 turret.
So, you know what's surprising is that out of all of their 2-0s, they did have a 1-2 series where they went to 3 versus Invictus Gaming. So, you know, Invictus did end up still winning that game, but also kind of blue side warriors. So we'll kind of see if how Thunder Talk are going to be able to close this one out, because NIP, they don't have the same amount of team fighting, right? Like, who is going to be able to hold all these targets in place for the Misfortune? Is Shanji actually going to be allowed to play side lane when all the lanes are this long and he's losing?
Not when you get ulted on like this, as Hoya with the public execution combined with that Glacial Prison. This Yorick was dead before he even came back to life, seemingly. The zombie goes down. Another kill going into the hands of TT. Varus. That's going to be Soul. Pretty instantly here for Thunder Talk. NIP really just have nothing to say about it.
And NIP were thinking maybe we could try to rush a Baron. Maybe we could try to make Thunder Talk feel a little uncomfortable. But all they do is get themselves the Scuttle. They'll lose the Soul. Again, you have Voracious Audica. Oh, Doinby, no!
Oh. Not Doinby's game this time around. Aki next target here, as we're maybe looking for a game almost as dominant as game 1 was here for Ninjas in Pyjamas or more. Satab now fighting 1v2.
Oh!
He's level 17! 25 minutes into this game, a 5 lead over Leave, picks up the kill. He's 5-0-2, and Thunder Talk are pushing down mid.
That's just going to be the end of the game. Hoya doesn't even have teleport, so he's just going to be saying goodbye from the other side of the map. And Thunder Talk clap back in this series against Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Hoya just gets to farm to finish off this game. Game number 3 on the way here. Thunder Talk admirably punched back against NIP as they got kicked in game number 1. 16-2 final score, as they actually will beat the time that NIP took to beat them in game 1. We're headed to a decider.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.